Democratic strategist Reyahd Kazmi and Republican strategist Melik Abdul joining us right now. Thank you so much for being with us. Reyahd, I'm going to start with you. This crucial determiner for making it on the stage, the electoral votes, which he's actually attained. The campaign claiming he has his name on the ballot in 19 states now, but he still has to make that 15% approval in 14, or rather 4, there's a lot of numbers here, national polls. If RFK Jr. does make it on the debate stage, how much of a game changer is it, not just for his campaign, but for the American people for this entire election?
Thanks for having me on, Adrian. I'll put it this way. I actually hope that RFK can get up there. And the reason I say that is people will come to find out that some of his platform issues and things he stands on are complete insanity. And he will look like a nut. If you look at previous campaigns and election years, Gallup did a poll of the largest 3 third-party candidate vote getters. And obviously, we all know that Ross Perot was the biggest back in '92. At that time period, at the same time, about right now, 5 to 6 months out from Election Day, he was polling at about 31 to 39%. When Election Day came, he got 19%. That is by far the most ever for a third-party candidate. But what that shows, and this was also replicated in 1980 as well as in 2016 with Anderson back then and then Gary recently, is that third-party contenders tend to lose some of that shine and some of that appeal as it gets closer to Election Day, because people then get the opportunity to hear more from these candidates. They get the opportunity to probably lean into more particular two-party system candidates. And they also find out at this point that, hey, we might have said we were interested in having them on the actual debate stage, but when it come time to vote, we actually didn't vote for them. I don't think anyone is against having multiple people on the campaign stage. And I think in this instance, it would actually be fairly beneficial to President Biden to have him up there so that some of those very odd super far left liberal voters who may be thinking RFK is their path, or even super extreme conservative voters thinking RFK may be the path if they're not with Trump, Biden will be able to steal some of these folks away.
Melik, what do you think? I mean, is he a dark horse, even though his name is quite famous? Are we expecting to see him make gains that maybe are unprecedented?
Well, I have to give it up for the people in Las Vegas. I checked, it was 97 degrees. I can't imagine being out there in 97 degrees.
You're talking about the Trump campaign.
Yes, at the Trump campaign. But RFK, I don't think that he'll be a game changer. I think that RFK's name probably carries more weight than his candidacy himself, than in the candidacy itself. One of the issues that RFK, I think, has is defining who is the RFK voter. Are they just simply disaffected Republicans, disaffected Democrats? He doesn't have a core constituency, and he's having a problem raising not just momentum around his campaign, but money, which is why his vice presidential candidate, who we don't actually see anywhere, continues to foot the bill when it comes to many of the things that they need. But I don't think that RFK, all candidates are imperfect indeed, but I don't believe that RFK is the type of galvanizing third-party candidate that those who are interested in third-party candidates would need. He's not the one to take them to the mountaintop. I just don't think that RFK is that at all.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.